That boy look like a good honey bun. Honey bun, huh?
Online,
right?
Or a person that looks like you online, who's working as a correctional officer. Is that or is that not Rick Ross in those pictures?
That was me in the photos. On the truth, when your truth just pretend.
An anonymous person claiming to be the baby mother of one of the Booby boys stated Ross was never a Booby boy and never a dope boy either. Everyone connected to Kenneth Booby Williams was arrested, and Ross only went to high school with some of the members. That same year, Rick Ross would admit to XXL it was in fact him in the pictures. He'd state, "Me not answering or addressing that situation has nothing to do with my career. Yes, it was me in those pictures, but I'm gonna tell you this. Me taking that job, I was doing my job. You understand what I mean?" He'd continue on saying the stuff.
No, we don't. And I know he probably said it. It sounded so cool when he said it too. You know what I mean? He probably said it. He probably said it all slow. Let the air breathe for a minute after he said it. Oh, no, gang. No, we don't know what that means. Expound. Officer Ricky, you have some explaining to do.
I be off them drugs and they give me superpowers. Ayy, pop me a perk, now I'm fucking for some hours. Sipping on the drink, taking codeine showers. Hand on Montana, she be Molly off that.
What's that word, ladies gang? Y'all know the vibes. Your favorite face, D Lace, and I'm back with another reaction video, y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, we're here to get negative. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We're here to be very negative today, y'all. I was low-key confused on all this Officer Ricky. I ain't know what all of that meant, y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I had no clue what it meant. I have no clue. Rick Ross. I don't pay attention to Rick Ross 2024. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I had no clue bro had snitch allegations now and stuff. I didn't know. So now I started peeping all this different stuff, and now I see Tiny JC threatening to drop a video on him, and he finally did it. So y'all already know what the vibes is. 1090J dropped. We are going to react. You feel me? I got my water. I got my sparkling water. You feel me? We here. We finna see what Officer Ricky doing. I ain't even gonna lie, cause low key we team OVO. We rocking with Drake. No bap. I love Kendrick. I love Future. They are my goats as well. But we rocking with Drake in this battle because I'm tired of y'all underestimating my man. It's like he not going there. You feel me? So we gonna see what Tiny J got on Ross. You feel me? Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on this video, man. We on our road to 100K subs this year. If you want more videos like this, you want to see more videos like this, or just more bangers, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button on the channel, man. And let's see what 1090J cooking up for my boy Freeway Wick. My boy Officer Ricky. You feel me?
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome
what up,
back
gang?
to another episode of EOS.
What up, guys?
1090J. When I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Rick Ross, the self-proclaimed kingpin, but actual former corrections officer.
You not telling me this Rick Ross right here. Just because he big and black, you not telling me this Rick Ross, bro. Y'all not telling me this Rick Ross. It's not Rick, bro. This can't be Rick Ross.
I know.
And that ain't Rick Ross either. That little man, that wasn't Rick Ross either. Alright. That ain't Rick Ross either, man.
Well, I can already see from here, from where I'm at, this nigga's a total fraud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even no issue.
Is that him for real?
But I paid for the transcripts to your court case.
Trick Daddy recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's not true. But that's disappointing to hear that he said that. He said that?
Like you did 10 years in jail, right? How you think about the whole Rick Ross thing, him being a correctional officer and dealing with correctional officers?
Wow. Fake niggas get taped up and sent back. Use a fake nigga, you makes up a good act.
Now I know you. I think it's fair to say, I know you now.
William. I know you're not calling Drake white boy and all. Listen, you 12? 12 is crazy, Rick. 12 is crazy, Officer Rick. 12 is crazy, Officer Ross. Look to the
money. I done did it all except set dudes up, put dudes behind bars, and that's what's important to me.
Pictures turned up of you online,
right?
Or a person that looks like you online, who's working as a correctional officer. Is that or is that not Rick Ross in those pictures?
That was me in the photos. I'm the truth when your truths just pretend. Analyzing every one of your lines with no flow of mine. Magnify times 5. You lost, I'm Ross.
Now bullets are flying in hip hop as back-to-back disses are being dropped and shots keep getting fired. At this point, it seems like Drake versus everybody, but one person in
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, Rick. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You ruining the beef, bro. This beef ain't got nothing to do with you realistically. It don't, bro. We want to see Kendrick and Drake. Rick Ross, when is the last time you dropped the album that we listened to? Keep it a buck. And Rick Ross, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a fan of Rick Ross. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Really, I'm just Team Drake, so I'm really going hard for Drake right now. But at the same time, bro, let's be honest. When have we listened to the last song I remember from Rick Ross was Idols Turn Rivals. If it's not a song with Drake, it's Idols Turn Rivals. That's the last song I remember from Rick Ross. Like, why are you even inserting those? Like, bro, sit this one out, bro. Sit this one out, bro. You should just been a cheerleader with your pom-poms for Kendrick and Future, bro. You shouldn't even be in this game. I ain't even gonna lie, bro.
Rick Ross
like, come on.
drop an immediate
You sent a cease and desist to Frenchman
That
tenant.
isn't what's
That's
got
why I don't
me.
like you.
Ross would keep dissing through Instagram and referring to Drake as a white boy
Crazy.
as if that's an insult. Well, now you got a white boy's attention. Apparently everybody forgot the biggest boss of
That boy Tiny J talking crazy. He said as if that was an insult because now you got a real white boy's attention. Oh, okay. All right, Tiny J, talk that on, bro. Talk that.
Miami, the hustler who knew Pablo and Noriega,
Oh.
the man who thinks he's Big Meech,
Larry
Larry
Hoover.
Hoover. Everybody forgot he was a fucking CO. Now this isn't new news. Back in 2008, pictures would be released of Ross in uniform.
Bro, there's no way. How did I not know about this, bro? I've never heard this. Hold
Back in
on.
2008, pictures would
Bro, this is real. That boy look like a good honey bun. Honey bun. Huh. Honey bun. What you talking about? That boy look like a tasty honey bun. Pause. What you talking about? No Diddy. No Diddy, bro. Wow, bro. Wow.
Ross in uniform.
Wow.
And he'd speak exclusively with all hip hop, stating, "My life is 100% real. These online hackers putting a picture of my face when I was a teenager in high school on other people's body. If this shit was real..."
So he was talking about AI back in 2007, huh?
Like dates and everything. So a then 32-year-old Ross claimed the pic was photoshopped, his kingpin lifestyle was real, and there was no proof behind the CO.
Has anybody ever backed up his
Well,
lifestyle?
a media website by the name of the Smoking Gun would send in a public records request receiving 86 pages from the Florida Department of Corrections about Officer Ricky's short career. A photo of William Roberts, aka Rick Ross's State of Florida application, would state he received his diploma from Miami Carroll City High and went on to Albany State University to study criminal justice. On his supplementary application, he'd state his nickname was Big East and denied knowing anyone in prison, along with never working in prison.
Big East is crazy.
Now with every new recruit,
Big East
the
is actually
Department of
ridiculous.
Corrections wants to know how willing you are to complete your correctional duties. Ross would check off he's willing to work rotating shifts.
They done took the screenshots of our boy Rick Ross. You done messed up, gang. You done messed up, Officer Ricky. You said you was able to work rotating shifts, work the day shift, the evening shift, the night shift, be present. It said it was able to snitch. I see it right there, row 5. He said it was able to snitch. I will snitch on any person. Nah, I just laugh. I just laugh, but I do see it. Look like you was really trying. Hey, man, like you was really trying to become a correctional officer, bro. And your name is William Roberts, bro.
Firearms.
Your name is William Roberts.
Inmates, homosexuals, etc. He'd also state he's willing to shoot an inmate who's attempting to escape, body search a male or female inmate, and write an incident report. In 1995, Ross would take an oath of loyalty to support the Constitution and would receive a letter stating he's now officially a correctional officer trainee at the South Florida Reception Center. 5 months later, it was now 1996, and Ross would receive an award for completing 540 hours of basic training. Ross was now an official corrections officer and can be seen taking a picture at his graduation ceremony.
Officer Ricky! Officer Ricky! Officer Ricky! Which one is better? Which one is worse? Which one is worse, Officer Ricky? Being a white boy or being 12? I think it's the latter, Officer Ricky. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's the latter, gang. I don't know. I think it's the latter, bro. I don't know, Officer Ricky. Hey, they call you into question. I don't know. The boss of the officer is crazy.
He received a certificate of appreciation for perfect attendance from the same
that nigga ain't
woman
miss
he
a
can
day.
be seen shaking hands with at his ceremony.
That nigga ain't miss a day.
Eventually, all good things must come to an end. And in June of 1997, Ricky Rose sent in a resignation letter and officially left the force. But like I said, this isn't new news. This came out back in 2008, and 50 Cent started calling Ross Officer Ricky.
Officer Ricky!
That same year, Rick Ross would admit to XXL it was in fact him in the pictures. He'd state, "Me not answering or addressing that situation has nothing to do with my career. I've accomplished enough and I've made enough money for me to be good. Yes, it was me in those pictures, but I'm gonna tell you this. Me taking that job, I was doing my job. You understand what I mean?" He'd continue on saying the stuff.
No, we don't. And I know he probably said it. It sounded so cool when he said it too. You know what I mean? He probably said it. He probably said it all slow. Let the air breathe for a minute after he said it. And all, no, gang. No, we don't know what that means. Expound. Explain that to us. What do you mean? No, we don't. What does that mean, Officer Ricky? Tell me I was doing my job. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Dope is real and the gun talk is official. But fans would forever speculate, when exactly was Rick Ross in the streets serving bricks? In an interview with the Full Send podcast, the alleged kingpin was asked about his time as a corrections officer in Florida State Prison.
You were a correctional officer?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back, when was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
What kind of people were in there?
You know, I didn't really get to make it to the prison. Because you got to go through training and all that, and I didn't last long.
Right.
I may have lasted 4 months.
Right.
Before they said,
yeah,
I was a little tardy.
Now Ross claimed
I thought you got perfect attendance. How you was tardy? And the papers just said you signed something in 95 and you sent your resignation in 97. That's more than 4 months, ain't it? Officer Ricky.
Worked the job for
Officer
4
Ricky.
months and never made it to a real prison because he didn't even complete training from being tardy so much. But this is the same Ross that
tried to lie to the white boys.
certificate of appreciation for never missing a day. He'd work as a CO for 18 months at the South Florida Reception Center in Miami. This was the first stop for any inmate entering the prison system from Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, or any other neighboring counties. This was very much prison, and the South Florida Reception Center has repeatedly made the news, like when 4 COs were arrested for beating an elderly inmate to death, or when 11 inmates...
He was in a corrupt prison too, huh?
But still, Rick Ross got a pass because even if he never sold drugs a day in his life, the music sounded good enough to forget it. So why still lie about your old job? And if you weren't flipping bricks in between criminal justice class and football practice, when did it happen?
Murphy played football too. Mercy had him on the line.
The pictures were released. Rick Ross was arrested on gun and marijuana charges. The investigation would be assigned to the Gang Unit Task Force, and transcripts would state the Gang Unit was given the case because Rick Ross claims affiliation with the Carol City Cartel. Now, Triple C's, according to Wikipedia, was a hip-hop group founded by Rick Ross in 2005. Named after the Carol City neighborhood of Miami, the group featured Rick Ross, Gunplay, Torch, and Young Breed. The transcripts would mention YouTube, and Ross didn't shy away from his cartel affiliation because it wasn't an actual cartel. The transcripts would also reveal this was actually Ross's first arrest as an adult at 32 years old. So technically speaking, you're not a criminal until you get caught, right? And Ross was never caught.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna shame the man for not getting caught either, bro. That's crazy. The whole goal is to not get caught. I'm not crazy. I'm not finna shame him for not getting caught. That's the whole goal. You feel me? That's the whole goal. The goal is not to get caught. The goal is not to be a felon. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I ain't gonna lie. What are we talking about?
Aside from marijuana, Ross wouldn't be arrested
going that
for
far with
anything
you, Rick.
serious until 2017, when him and his former security guard kidnapped the landscaper by forcing him into a room and pistol whipping him.
Bro, what? Nigga, why don't I remember that? 2017? Nigga, that's prime years. How did I know that? And how is this nigga still out? He pistol whipping. He kidnapping and pistol whipping, and he's still out. What the fuck? I got homies that did less than that, and they not out. I ain't gonna lie, they not out. They not out. Like, what's going on?
Ross would plea out to lesser charges as a first-time offender, and the charges would be removed from his criminal history after paying all fines and completing probation. So maybe Ross was just too smart to get caught with any breaks. Going back to his interview, Ross would state he got his job in corrections after his big homie got in trouble and suggested it.
What made you want to do that?
One of my big homies had just got in trouble, and a lot of things were going on, and he just suggested it.
You fuck with it or no?
I didn't. Anything you gotta really do and fucking running and jogging and all of that shit, man.
The big homie Ross was referring to is none other than Kenneth Booby Williams.
That nigga's the big homie for real. God, he look like me right now, don't he? He look like me, don't he, y'all? He look like me in that mug, don't he, on my mama? But hold on, bro. So this is what he was trying to allude to earlier when he said, the job got the job to do my job. He did, or whatever he said. So he trying to act like he got the job because his homie got locked up so he can be in there, help him be a corrupt cop. Niggas, man.
Booby was the leader of the Booby Boys, an infamous murderous drug gang that terrorized Miami in the 90s. Law enforcement officials would state they built a drug empire that smuggled
That boy Gunplay, shout out Gunplay, man.
$5 worth of cocaine across 25 Florida cities and 12 states from 1990 to 1998. The gang was blamed for 35 murders, and when they were all indicted, the shootings and murder rate literally dropped, and 4 of
neighborhoods since the Booby Boys.
According to a Street Stories article, the Booby Boys reached national attention through Rick Ross, who rose to fame in hip-hop's cocaine era, when everybody was rapping about cocaine and selling it. He'd introduced the world to Miami's underworld by wearing a Booby Boys t-shirt, naming members in his songs, and speaking of them in multiple interviews.
When I talk about yayo, when I talk about streets, body counts, that's where I really come from, you know what I'm saying? I came up in Carib City, the heart of Miami, and just so happened in my generation, we had a good friend of ours by the name of Kenneth Booby Williams, who was featured on America's Most Wanted in 1999. You understand? And he was accused for over 200 homicides and running an $80 million enterprise.
So you trying to take credit for something he did? Cause what they got to do with you, gang? You was involved. You was a little homie in it or something. Like I'm not even trying to talk crazy. I'm really trying to figure it out. It sounds like he bigging up somebody else. Like he might be rapping about bro life. I ain't even gonna lie. Let's keep it a buck. That's what it sounds like. Anonymous commentator speaks on Ross' connection to the Booby Boys. Like, I never heard of. I never really knew all this about Rick Ross' story. It's actually crazy. It's actually really informative to me right now. I ain't gonna lie, Officer Ricky. I ain't know all this.
Would speak with the Miami New Times back in 2008 over the correction officer controversy. He'd state, Ross ain't no fake cat. He's always been savvy in my experiences crossing paths with him way back in the day. Ross ran with the Booby Boys, who were among the top 5 gangsters down here in Miami in the mid-90s. When Booby Boys leader Kenneth Booby Williams got snatched by the feds, they also snatched several Miami-Dade police officers as well because they were on Booby's payroll. Now Ross wasn't no kingpin himself, but close enough because he ran with some real hustlers that touched major work. Streetwise, Rick Ross's back is against the wall. He can't really allow.
And then bro, I don't know. This stuff don't making sense to me. How is he known to do this? And he was still able to be a correctional. I guess this is after or during. I don't know. A lot of timeline not making sense. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. It's not making sense. Some ain't adding up unless they really had no idea. He was on America's Most Wanted with Fed charges. You mean tell me they had no clue that Rick Ross was involved in that too? Something's off. I ain't gonna lie. Something not adding up. I ain't gonna lie. 2 + 2 ain't 17. It ain't. It's just not, bro. It's just not. It's just not.
Booby is still dealing with the federal case right now on appeal.
No bad. It's not.
Know that when Ross was a CO, he was working for Booby on a mission. Now this story would coincide with what Ross said on his Full Send interview, but we don't even know who said it because the person was anonymous and could have been Rick Ross himself.
Exactly, or somebody paid by him.
Reading between the lines, this dude was alleging Ross got a job as a CO to work for Booby in prison, and Booby was a notorious drug gang leader. But the timelines don't even add up.
It don't at
Ross
all.
started working in prison in 95 and resigned
in 97. This was 99.
Some of the Booby boys got locked up. Then the feds indicted 15 of them in 1999. Ross's so-called big homie never even made it to Florida State Prison. It would end up in the feds.
Ross out here lying, y'all.
Across him while working in state.
I ain't even gonna lie. This video just helped Drake come up with another diss track. I ain't even gonna lie. Drake probably didn't even know it was this deep. I mean, maybe Drake did because he been a hip hop fan for forever, so he might have known. I didn't know nothing about Rick Ross like this. I didn't know that much. I didn't know this deep into Rick Ross. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know he had controversy like this. When they was saying Officer Ricky, I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't even know what they. I'm like, who was Officer Ricky? He said Officer Ricky switched up on Drake. I'm like, I didn't even think it was Rick Ross because why would he be an officer? You know what I'm saying? But now that I see this, he was definitely. I ain't gonna lie. He definitely capping. He definitely capping. The timeline's not mixed up. It's not matching up. It don't he look like the Dookie emoji right here? He look like them little things you start when you play Mario and you jump on top of their heads. Y'all can't tell me y'all look like that right here. What?
Another anonymous person claiming to be the baby mother of one of the Booby boys stated Ross was never a Booby boy and never a dope boy either. Everyone connected to Kenneth Booby Williams was arrested, and Ross only went to high school with some of the members. She would claim Booby was an inmate at the South Florida Reception Center before going to prison when he recognized Rick Ross and thought he'd be beneficial. But even her story doesn't make sense, as Booby doesn't show up in the Florida Department of Corrections offender search. So yet again, another story that can't be proven by another anonymous source.
See, and Rick Ross, this is where they messed up at, bro. Back in the day, there was no 1090 Jake to break this stuff down. Like everyday people, a lot of us didn't even know we can get access to this if we really wanted to. Now 1090 Jake is out. Cause you see Ross didn't deny. I saw Ross' story when 1090 Jake first said it. All he said was 1090 Jake a rat. 1090 Jake do not care. Nobody cares. All we know is that you're a rat. 1090 Jake is white at the end of the day. Nobody's gonna be mad that he's a rat. They expect it. You're Ricky Ross. You're Officer Ricky. You're Freeway Rick. You feel me? Well, you're not Freeway Rick, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Even his response a little iffy. He been a little quiet on the jokes today, too, y'all peep. The jokes been a little quiet today. I don't know.
Whether or not Ross
I ain't heard too many jokes from Freeway Rick.
Give himself a more street appearance, Ross would skyrocket into stardom and rise to legendary status in the state of Florida. Because of that, nobody really gives a fuck if Ross's whole persona was fake, because he still made it. But apparently Ross does, because he responded to me on Instagram. No, I made a post about him lying over how much time he actually did working in prison, and he'd respond in a series of Instagram posts stating I'm a rat.
Yeah.
He'd show my mugshot in one post,
yeah,
and another a statement.
Yeah.
The statement would read, the suspect, Cherry, made several spontaneous statements. He stated that the gun was in his friend Alex's room inside the closet under the green shirt. He stated that he was shooting the gun in the middle of the street and that he is sorry. He stated
I ain't gonna lie, I know Tiny J. I heard about this Tiny J being a rat, but I don't know if I ever heard him kind of address it. So we gonna see right here what he say.
He was using the pissin'. He saw a shiny object and reached down and found the gun. Now Rick Ross would at me, putting multiple rat emojis.
That boy screenshot it for the vid.
White boy, who next? He'd then make another post writing the same thing. Now since Ross added me, I now had the ability to DM him, so I sent him a voice message back.
Oh yeah, you played, Officer Ricky, you played.
I saved my homie people from getting jammed up before they went inside the house and found that gun and took them off Section 8. I blew that pistol. That was my case. You played, though. I ain't wake up and put a badge on. You did. Now, whoever decided to send that to Ross didn't send him the other 25 pages detailing what actually took place.
Officer Ricky! And that boy Tiny J, this nasty work. You knew you was making a vid. He was recording all this. Hey, smart man. Smart.
The gun was mine to keep anyone else from being charged.
Smart man.
Ross would make another post to Instagram, once again mentioning me.
You got your minions. What's the other white boy name? 1090. He looked like a fucking wet little whale flapping. Shut up. Mind your business, Peon. Man, apologize.
Truth is, me and Drake have no ties and have never spoke, but he'd follow me on the gram shortly after Ross's little tirade.
I definitely saw that.
I myself was surprised Ross was so quick to respond to his CO past, as he's changed the story so many times and added new twists, alleging he was pushing weight in prison.
Officer Ricky, man, I don't know.
Strikes a nerve. Almost
I don't know about you, Officer Ricky. I don't know.
See himself in that uniform.
I don't know, man.
Like I told Officer Ricky, he's the one that decided to wake up and put on a badge.
I know you know Noriega. A real Noriega. Oh shit, Ricky's friends outside. You hit him?
Yeah, don't tell me 12 outside.
There they go. He got a $2 million pool in New York City. He's talking about the NYPD.
I didn't even know Rick was beefing with 50.
Everybody got favorites, and it seems that once you reach a certain level of superstardom or money, nobody really gives a fuck anymore about what used to be or what never happened. Nobody's gonna care if you never sold dope. Nobody's gonna care if you whatever, because you already made it, right? Fake it till you make it.
It's really because he paid, though. It ain't really the superstardom. It's the he paid.
I couldn't even find a picture.
That boy paid.
Of Rick Ross and Booby together. Maybe I just didn't recognize dude or whatever, but I couldn't even find a picture of them together. It was all just Ross shouting out his big homie who he ran with, but Ross was never tied into none of the shit that was going on. He was investigated as being a member of the Carroll City Cartel, but obviously they saw he wasn't doing shit except making music, and there was nothing to get Ross on. I refuse to believe he's the smartest criminal.
Exactly. Like, he's just the smartest criminal out of everybody in life. Like, he was never implicated. The 12 didn't even... Bro, do you realize how smart he would have to be if this is a true story? Do you realize this man would have had to been running with one of the most wanted, whatever, gang affiliations, associations, whatever, in Miami in the 90s gang? They were on America's Most Wanted and indicted on Fed charges. And you mean to tell me he was not caught? He was not seen with them. He was not charged with them. And he was able to get a job as an officer? It's cap, bro. It's cap, Rick Ross. I ain't even gonna lie. You're capping. And I can see in his responses he capping. His silence today tells me he's capping.
Everybody always says that shit like, oh, I didn't get caught.
And me personally, I don't even care. Honestly, this is just good entertainment for the beef. I don't care. I'm not no street nigga. I don't care. I don't care if he snitched. I mean, or not. I keep saying snitch. I don't care if he was 12, but I'm just saying he care because he lying like a mud. This don't even make sense, bro.
But all the major guys get caught.
Exactly.
Or at least get investigated by the feds.
At least get arrested.
Lucky enough to beat that shit. But everybody else is getting caught. Now, Rick Ross, when he blew up, it was around the time of everyone rapping about cocaine. It fit the scene. He took off with it. He was
Slim Jesus.
That did it cool. Come to find out, he was a fucking CO, which is crazy. Because at the end of the day, you know, you got a lot of people arguing, oh, but the COs are the ones that bring us the drugs, and they give us this, and they give us that. They're also the ones that walk in, tell you to hang up on the phone. They don't care if it's your mother, your girlfriend, your kid. It's time to lock down. Imagine Rick Ross walking around, lock down, chow. Imagine that. That's a CO. I don't give a fuck how much dope they're bringing you.
On my
because
soul.
they're putting somebody else in cuffs.
On my soul.
Taking them to confinement. And this is a fun fact for everybody that's been to prison. You know this is true. Especially in the state of Florida. When you get a job there, it's mandatory. Your sergeant is going to press you to put inmates in confinement and write DIs on them. They want to see that you're actively doing your job, which is fucking with the inmates. So there's no way that you're in there moving dope, flipping this, selling that, not putting a bunch of other people away. Because the ones that are really moving shit, they're putting the most people away to cover up their tracks.
Man.
Makes sense, right? If you're selling dope in prison, you're not locking anyone up, you're gonna look a little bit fucking suspicious.
Facts.
So while this guy might be serving you, he's fucking somebody else over. But to be honest with you, none of the shit about him serving anything in prison made any sense to me, because you went to college for criminal justice, you got a job inside of a prison, and then you resigned before everyone you knew went into prison. And the thing is, you were working at a reception center, so even if Booby got sent there, he'd only be there for about 6 weeks until he got transferred off to a major institution. That's just how reception works. You don't stay there. But let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions. I mean, why is he still...
Man, all I'm gonna say is this. What John Cena tell Eddie Guerrero wife? He say, Vicky, you have some explaining to do. And what I'm gonna say, Officer Ricky, you have some explaining to do.
I'ma fuck with you.
Saw that I was done, but just getting started, bitch. I'm far from finished. Gotta keep it right up in the shot, and I ain't talking Dennis. And I'm asking by if anybody trying to